What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
And I'm Ty.
And as y'all can see, we got a new guest with us. This is Miss Jade Brown. Jade, tell the people about yourself a little bit.
First of all, I want to say thank you guys for having me. Really, like I told Marcus, an honor and a pleasure to be here today with you all. You know, I felt really honored. Like, hey, you want to be on a podcast with us? I'm like, yeah, sure. I've done a few. Like I told you earlier, I watch all the smoke. The whole vibe in here is, I like it. I like it a lot.
Absolutely.
But a little bit about myself, born and raised here in Pensacola, Florida. Went to Woodham High School. You know, one of the best schools ever, but we're no longer technically in existence, but
it's the new
West Florida Tech.
I'm about to say new West
in our
Florida Tech
building.
now.
I played college Division I basketball. Started off in junior college at Okaloosa-Walton, which is now Northwest Florida State. Continue to play. Got a scholarship to Long Island University in Brooklyn, New York. So former Division I athlete. Now I am currently the athletic director and girls basketball
Congratulations
coach.
on that position.
Appreciate it. I am entering my 13th. I'm in my 13th year at Booker T. Washington High School.
That's crazy,
right? Yeah, I know. I think about that all the time. 13 years, but it's cool. Before this coming year, I taught world history, but I mostly taught psychology and AP Psych. I was department chair for social studies, so I've done quite a bit at Booker T, and I really truly enjoy being there, and I love the kids. So I've been blessed, and like I said, I'm excited to be here today.
Absolutely, and I just want to, first off, again, thank you for being a part of the podcast. Because when I was telling Ty, like I said, we're in our second season of doing this, and you was one of the first names that came to my mind because, like I said, given a chance to coach alongside of you in the program, and then also knowing you from when you was at Woodham to seeing you where you are now, I was like, that's somebody that's important to be on the podcast. And just like everybody else that we're trying to have on here, we want, somebody that has influence in our community, and then of course has knowledge of what we talk about too as well. So that's why it's cool to have you on.
So I'm an influencer?
Because speaking of that, if y'all don't know anything else to do on Mondays, please follow Jade on her Motivation Mondays. Because she rides her bike, and I'm not talking. Look, this is not a person. Now, she not out there playing around with no beach cruiser. No, she out there got a helmet, her gloves. She got the fit on, and I'm talking about nice, real, what they call a French de Tour. Tour de France. They got that type of bike. So if you're not doing anything on Mondays, check for Jade Brown for Motivation Mondays, and there's some good stuff on there. So
find that information.
Yeah, what could you
Facebook? Facebook for sure. My Facebook when I post I call them JB Chronicles.
JB Chronicles. I like
on
that.
Monday mornings. They're not every Monday morning. People get mad at me when I don't do this.
Of course. Listen. I got a couple people that's like that. Like they like, man, look, I'm like, I ain't never heard about Jade Brown. Yeah, I heard about, but she don't be on every Monday. I'm like, okay, what's she supposed to do? I mean, she got a life too now.
So most of the times I started with my Instagram. So then you share your stuff, and when I put it on my Facebook, it's public. So I make sure that anybody can see it and get shared. But Instagram I post every morning after I work out. I do a story every morning. But when I do my JB Chronicles, I try to do them once a month. And I think I need to do a little bit better job, to give the people what they want. So you told me I'm an influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can find it on Instagram and for sure my Facebook.
And that's the thing about it too, because me and Ty kind of went this a little bit in season 1. So like we had our season, and then we were like, all right, man, look, you got a lot going on. I got some stuff going on with basketball training and coaching stuff. We're gonna take a little break. So we took
like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And the people came for you.
3 weeks. They were like, hey, DeMarcus, so you not doing your podcast no more? I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, nah, bro. We revamping some things. We changing up the scenery. We coming up with fresh topics. You know what I'm saying? We changed the schedule a little bit. Like, nah, me and Ty still good. Like, okay, I just want to make sure, man. Like, because y'all ain't did nothing. I'm like, bro, it's been literally a week and a half.
You got to do like Skip and Shannon, Stephen A. when they put on Twitter, like, we're taking a break. We'll be back Monday.
That's what I said. You
got to let the people know.
I said, when season 2 come to a close, I'm going to get on Twitter and Instagram and let y'all know, like, look, man, we're going to take a little break and then we coming back. So, but no, it's been good. I'm glad to see that people are actually watching. Because, we've done stuff with MJ. You know, that's been good. Coach Lewis, we've done stuff with. We've done stuff with Joel. We just did one with him. So, you know, things are going good. That's why, you know, I like that we're getting that type of interaction with people that's following the progress. So, all right. So we're going to get into, you know, a little more basketball topics. First thing I want to go with you, I know I talked to Joel trying to get the male perspective of Title IX. So what I want to do is talk to you about Title IX.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think as far as we've come with it, we still got a long ways to go.
Okay.
I know people and just in a whole, you know, with the WNBA, I think a big thing I saw this year following the game, you know, salaries. And
that's a big topic.
a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a touchy topic for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you really watch the game, and I tell people when I lived in New York, you know, you watch the Knicks before, right? I'm a Knicks fan, by the way, just so y'all know. All right, that's my team. You know,
we got a prediction show about
my
the
Knicks.
NBA. We might need to have you on there for the prediction show.
Bring me back.
Yeah, because season starts next week. So
have you guys ever been to Madison Square Garden?
I haven't.
haven't.
I've seen the outside. I've toured. Every time I go to New York, they always away or some basketball team.
Yeah, I've never had a chance to actually go inside.
So you've seen the building.
Yeah.
It's not very big.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Neither is Barclays Center.
No.
Right? So
they got them crammed up in there.
Yeah. So it's and you're talking about New York City, so everything's
condensed.
packed. But, you know, I think, don't quote me, we may have to look it up. I I know they don't hold 20,000.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm
Madison
feel
Square Garden
confident, you know.
don't hold 20,000 people.
I'm pretty sure they don't, and maybe because of upgrades they do. Maybe get your guy look for it and let us know.
Yeah.
I think you look at that.
Look that up for us.
See.
I'm pretty. Last time I checked, if they hold 20.
Okay.
All right. So let's just say the NBA. You know, their contracts are stupid.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about the players. Their sponsorship is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have a lot of sponsorship themselves as individual players, right? So then let's go to the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah,
we already know.
topic,
we talked about that before.
100,000 people, right? In a stadium.
Yeah.
So you know their contracts are stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Because them tickets are stupid.
So when the WNBA, that inaugural season, I remember 1997, they were playing in the same arenas as the NBA. At that time, it was pretty full. You've got great players. Not saying players now aren't great. They're tremendous. Much more athletic. The game's evolving.
Skills is better, yeah.
But they don't even play in the same arenas as the NBA teams.
I've seen it.
Like today?
Yeah. Because
Really?
Dream just built their own stadium in South Atlanta, which is maybe like 20, 30 minutes away
Interesting.
from the
I
city.
didn't know that. I thought they were still using sharing. So
they haven't been sharing stadiums.
So the Lakers and the Sparks don't use
from time to time. They'll play in the same place, but a lot of your WNBA teams do not play in the same same arena as their male counterparts.
Okay.
So that just goes back to this whole Title IX. What's available, what we can do. Their viewership is going up. But I think just continue to present those opportunities for females. Not even just on the spectrum of sports or playing, but in athletic director roles, running businesses. You look at, Jalen Hurts, a good portion of his team are female ladies. He has a female agent.
Yeah.
So Title IX has, I think, put a lot of opportunities out there that weren't there before.
Gotcha.
Like I said, you look around, there are a lot of female sports agents.
Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot
Title
more.
IX,
That wouldn't be available to them.
Being able to have a seat at the table. So I think Title IX is a good thing. We've come a long way. It's got to stay, though, some people may feel like, it's equal. It's not. It's not the same playing field. Even if you look at lower levels, athletically, around here. I mean, you look at the support that your male sports get versus your female sports.
It's not the same.
So Title IX has done a lot, but we still got a long ways to go.
Absolutely.
And I see us, continue to grow, but when you're so far ahead of somebody, the male sports, they're here. Like the female sports, I think as the male sports continue to grow, we're going to continue to play catch up. It's going to be very challenging to make it equal.
Yeah.
We can even look, which was a slap in the face during the NCAA tournament 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was crazy. The weight room and all that stuff. Yeah, that was
even
crazy.
The packages, you see what the men got, and then you look at the ladies, and everybody's like, "Really? We're back at this."
The food and everything.
Yeah, the food and everything.
So
Which I just don't understand. Like how is it that you have these entities when you're talking about the NCAA, NFL, all these places, and then how does the money not operate into the women? That's would
it be marketing? That's
what I'm saying. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, we could say that. You know, we could sit here and throw out a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we just focus on the NCAA tournament, somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah,
like big time. With the packages that the women see versus the packages the guys received, and then the weight room, then it's like, okay, come on, people. Like,
you obviously got to see there's an issue.
Yeah, somebody didn't do their part, and then a lot of times you got to think about this. You know, it's a pyramid. You know, when I'm up here, I'm not always concerned with
what's going
on down here. I've got people in place to make sure that down there is taken care of.
Yeah.
But then when it's brought to my attention, okay, we got to fix this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think Title IX is something that's going to continue to start to hopefully set it equal.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to catch up.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, you look at the NFL, the arenas, stadiums that they play in versus the NBA.
Yeah.
You're talking about hundreds of thousands to
10, 15,000.
You know, 30. It's Jerry's World's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I will say I'm starting to notice, like you say, I'm starting to notice women getting more opportunity because I know what's her name, Elena Della Dunn. She just got a shoe deal with Nike, so she got her shoes coming out.
Well, I think, and you saying that it's like people knowing though. I mean, Cheryl Swoops had a deal.
Yeah.
A lot crazy shoes.
A lot of people didn't even know that. Don Staley was wearing a certain pair, so a lot of things people are uneducated about. Now you're just social media is allowing us to see so much. Good and bad. But I think there were some things that have always been happening. We just were unaware unless we're following it. You know? And if I wasn't following it, I wouldn't know. Like, I mean, I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm a fan of athletics, period. So, you know, I follow LeBron and his whole, his whole team.
He brought everybody up around him.
He has several ladies in his company, and to see Jalen Hurts, you know, with an African American sports agent, for me is like, wow, that's what's up. This is a guy that's doing it the right way. And then you find out there are several other women on his team, but
it's inspiring.
How would the normal Joe know that?
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. So then, when you say, oh, they're a female sports agent, it may be very new to them. But it's like, they've been out here getting bags for a long time.
They've been contracting some big deals for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm glad to see that. I mean, I was talking to Ty and Joel when I watched that WNBA finals this past year. They said it was the highest televised it's ever been. So like you said, I am seeing things going. There's still a big gap.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: do you think there ever become a point where women get paid the same way the men do?
Before you get to that, I've seen where the Denver mascot makes $635,000. And the highest WNBA players make like $230,000.
Yep.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
A mascot.
John,
yes.
Look, if you sign up to be a mascot, make sure you bring me an application too, because if they paying out almost $700,000 to walk around
for eight months, maybe 8 months.
But he's not even working he's not working 8-hour shifts. Like us. You're working one game. Things here.
Because you think about it, you know what? In a season, 82 games, you got what, 40?
41
home games. So you only working half the year.
Are you really though? They don't have a game every day of the week.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Outside, but that's
crazy. Though. I just saw that this morning. That's crazy. $625.
Yeah.
To walk around in a costume.
Somebody start Googling. Find us some mascot applications.
I know, right?
So that's what I'm saying. So do you, Jay, do you think there ever be a chance of the salaries getting to that point? Because I know a lot of women that play in, WNBA, they have to go overseas. Because that's kind of how Brittany Griner.
And they've been going. Russia was the big country for our premier players. Like they were giving them big bags.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, don't quote me, I want to say Donna Taurasi or Sue Bird, one of them, not really sure. I can't remember. I think one of them had a dual citizenship at one time. Like Russia was paying our premier players like big money.
Yeah.
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
You hope and you wish, but it's tough because like I said, you look at how the NBA now these men are negotiating their own deals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last summer, all of us are watching, you know, Netflix and how Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, all these guys didn't get the bag that they deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Now these guys are like, you don't pay me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay me.
Somebody's going to pay me. Yeah.
We're going to negotiate.
Yeah.
So as their male counterparts continue to
push that needle. Yeah.
You know, it's going to be hard to, that's what I'm saying. Like, as we get closer, they're going to still
push their needle
because you can't blame them for wanting to get paid. But, you know, anything is possible. You know, you got to think about Barack Obama, you know. I'm serious, you know.
That's
I mean,
true.
our grandparents were probably still like, they never thought they would see a black man as a president.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that it won't ever happen. I think it's gonna take a lot, like you said, marketing. What can we do? Now, I remember when I was growing up in 1997, I had a Houston Comets jersey. It was a Houston Comets jersey, not a sponsor name.
Yeah. Like the real
WNBA
authentic
jersey.
Yeah.
Like now, you look at WNBA jerseys, some of them got sponsors on them. Like, So I don't know the ins and outs, how it's gonna get there, but I think, like you said, marketing. But I think a lot of these players are getting on with some of their good male counterparts as well. You'll see
endorsement deals and stuff with them.
Some endorsement deals. So if their salaries are not where the men's are,
then at least
they're getting some things to kind of offset or put them in position where they don't. And you hear like Skylar Diggins, the ones who are having families, they're not wanting to go overseas. I just finished playing. Why I got to go over here to get some more money? So you're seeing that more. Also, I see a lot of them. And you see former athletes, period, doing these things, podcasts or broadcasting on ESPN. So I think there are ways in which I don't know how long it's going to take for that salary to be equal. I think it's going to take a lot. That has nothing to do with like the actual player. There's going to be others involved, the owners, how much are they wanting to put into it? Again, endorsement, like you said, marketing, how do we start getting there? So I hope that I see that day where it's, equal or just the amount, so that WNBA player getting that same amount as that marquee NBA player. So I think it's just going to take a lot.
I think the biggest thing that the game, between the NBA and WNBA now, is that we see, NBA players in front row, in support with the WNBA, especially like LeBron going to Vegas, or just recently we seen Ja Morant supporting that, the heck out of Vegas when they won theirs.
But I think social media is creating that though. And the reason I say that, Cheryl Swoops and Michael Jordan were pretty cool.
Like, I remember growing up. They was hanging out all the time.
Like former players talking to my older players, like Cheryl Swoops, Don Staley, and you listen to about some of their stories with NBA players. Like we couldn't see that. Like we don't know who wasn't there because I'm not sitting here on
or
on
nobody's taking a picture and posting it.
I don't want to say that the support of WNBA that it was lacking NBA players. I want to say that we were unable to see it. But now social media is showing that these guys are here, which is great. And if you think about the Olympics, I mean, those the men's and women's teams were very close. And then of course you look at Kobe. He made the and I think Lisa Leslie said a couple weeks ago, he made the hoodie popular. And then the players he was bringing in, working out with them. But the only reason we know about this because it was broadcast. The picture
he was doing a lot. He was doing a lot for women's basketball too.
I don't know. I like to say that social media is giving us more attention.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think they've always supported it, but that social media is allowing us to see, wow, okay. Everybody's out here for the ladies, which is awesome.
And it brings more attention for them to come to the games and see more, because me and Ty talk about time. I've always thought that women, like skill wise, since the beginning of the WNBA, has always shown that excellent skill set. And now we're seeing them dunk now. So now it's like you add that to their game plus all the skill, it just makes it a better game. Go ahead, Ty.
So like with high school though, how do you get more fans in the seats and stuff like that? Because with high school women's and high school men's, people start coming a little bit, maybe like halftime, well, when I grew up, they came like halftime of the women's game and not really supporting the high school women.
So you just said where you grew up, like
I said right here. Hey, look, buddy.
When I grew up,
I've been coaching at Watch for 5 years, and she's on the sideline. It's the opposite,
packed?
bro.
Okay.
Their game is packed, and they're like, "Oh, the boys playing, we done."
Yeah,
because they on ESPN and all that, top 10.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little different here than there, but
it was like that when I played. I think we can go back to saying that.
Yeah.
You'll talk to anybody, Woodham Washington, PHS Washington game. If you weren't there for the start of the girls' game, you weren't getting in.
Yeah, because
So I think it's a cultural thing, where you're a community thing, and what's going on. But let me say this: not as many kids. Not even gonna say girls. And DeMarcus, you can probably test this as well. Kids aren't as active they used to be. They don't like. Playing basketball, like that requires some work. I don't want to work. So
I rather play 2K.
I mean, whether it's girls, boys, I mean, football, baseball, we're not getting the kids to come out like they used to. So fielding the seats. So first I got to get a team. I got to get some kids out. I think, but to answer your question, how do you get people in the stands? It's a question I'm still trying to figure out. I'm being honest. I mean, a lot of times people come because they're friends of ours. Being that where I coach, and DeMarcus knows as well, depending on what your socioeconomic makeup of your program, you are the mom and dad of that kid playing for you. You know what I'm saying? So getting the community to come out and support, that's challenging. And it's very challenging. And it's just something we continue to try to figure out ways to get people in to watch these young people play. I know some things that we've talked about before, having different types of nights. Sometimes we have teacher appreciation night. So we get the teachers in there that haven't probably really seen these athletes play. So that brings out a good crowd. Military night, things like that. Middle school night. So there are things that we have to do to get people in. It's just brainstorming, being creative, and figuring out ways. Okay, how do we get people here? How do we get people, but not just here, but coming back? You came to one game.
Come back to more.
Come to another one.
Yeah, like I know. Exactly. I know.
Bring somebody with you. A paying person as well.
Exactly. Like, look, we gave up on this $8 this time, but next time we need all 8 of them. Matter of fact, we need 10. Bring 2 more.
We're sitting here and like, well, you want me to pay to come to the game? If I could let people in free all the time, man, I tell you what, I would. But we all know inflation is real. Like, referees are very expensive.
Food.
People don't understand what it takes to run a basketball game. Referees cost a lot, a lot out of a team's budget that you kind of already know. Like, you get paid. Your mortgage coming out. Like, you know that. I got paid today, but I know this amount won't be in there in one day because I'm about to pay it. So as you're fundraising and you're establishing a program, like for me, I'm in that mode right now. Like I'm doing my budget, getting things together. I'm like, okay, I know it's going to cost anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 every year for referees, regardless of if I have people in the stands or not. And so, but putting people in the stands helps the budget, but it's, we want people to see the kids. And it's tough. We've got to find ways, and I'm trying to do better myself and talk with my coaches, like, how do we get people in here, and I'm all about, bringing a family member, bring somebody in. I love, younger kids coming in and being able to have opportunities where we can get people in for free, like a church night, like, churches in, different, just.
I would have never thought. I talked to PB about that.
It's just creativity, or, a sponsorship night, meaning, okay, this, your business, okay, you all sponsored us. All right, so tonight is our sponsorship night. So those businesses get in free, and you get to bring one family member with you. But again, that's one game. How do we continue to get them to come back? That's where the catch is. So just brainstorming, finding ways to get people in the stands it's a tough task, but it's not something that can't be done. You just got to be consistent and committed to figuring out ways to do that. But I also think that's not something that always falls on your head coach, because the head coach is the head coach. And that comes with having a good staff, where you can say, hey, DeMarcus, I really want you to see if we can get such and such in. Well, like, let's go through some home games, and you come back to me and say, all right, I think on this night we're gonna have this this here. We're gonna have
brainstorming.
Brainstorming. Bring back to the head coach. You're like, all right, cool. Let's run with it. So there's ways to do it. You just gotta be committed to understand it's a process and you gotta trust it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I know, Ty, you did some research on Jade. So go ahead and dive in.
Research. I hope you found some good stuff.
We can't leave the podcast without you diving in because you my research guy, man.
So you said you did start off here, born and raised Pensacola, and then you went to junior college. What was the junior college experience like? And a lot of people, nowadays it's like, oh, it's D1 or nothing. So I would like to hear, it's okay to go to a JUCO. And what was your JUCO experience like?
Man, JUCO, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all. All right? Okay, I'm keeping real with you.
That's what we want on the podcast.
I'm gonna be like, what they say, transparent, all those type of things. Now, I'm be completely real with you though. It was one of the best experiences.
Yeah,
it truly was. I played in the Panhandle, Panhandle Conference, which is, if not one of two of the best JUCO conferences in the nation.
Oh wow!
So my first year, I actually tore my shoulder, so I had to sit out, which was by far, besides my grandmother passing, has definitely been one of the toughest things for me to handle. Because I trained my butt off going into my freshman year in college. And when I tell you that was the best team I was a part of, I'm talking about ability.
Yeah.
You say, okay, what do you mean? All right, here we go. My college teammate, which is like one of my best friends, Tam McCorby, was a McDonald's All-American junior college player. Offers from Auburn, Tennessee, and Arkansas.
Yeah, I remember
she
that.
She visited all three.
Yeah.
And she chose, I don't know if it was Arkansas. It was either Arkansas or South Carolina. But I know Tennessee and Auburn for short. She visited 3 schools. She chose Auburn. Pat Summer was still at Tennessee. Oh, wow. Just throwing it out there for y'all. That's how good Tam was. Then I had another teammate. This is all my freshman year. I'm just gonna name where they went: Alabama, West Virginia, University of Indiana. One went to UC. One of those California. It's a ton of them.
It's UC something.
UC something. Louisville.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So my first year in junior college. All of the sophomores
was gone to big
were
schools.
BCS Division I players.
Oh wow.
That team was loaded. Then when I graduate, same thing. I went to a mid-major, Long Island University, but I had a teammate that went to West Virginia. Another one went to school in University of Missouri, Kansas City, I believe. So, and then I played against some top players that also went on to BCS schools. So I had a great experience. Academically, I didn't have a problem. I got my work done. I went to school in Niceville. You know anything about Niceville? It's a sports town. Like they love you. It was packed in there every night.
Yep.
My coach was a former University of Alabama player and assistant coach. So I had a great experience. I really did. D1 or bust. It's so cliche.
That's what people think though. Because like I said, social media has
created that. And the crazy thing is now, and it really is going to be tough for high school kids. And I'm speaking more so on the basketball standpoint because of what I know. The transfer portal is real.
Yeah, we talk about that.
And if you are not, and this is true, if you are not an elite player in high school, at least going into your junior year, D1 or bust needs to get out your system.
Yep. It's how can I get into somebody's school?
There you go.
That's what we tell our guys all the time.
If you're not going to get into your junior year and you don't have offers, it's time for you to be like, okay, junior college is okay because I need people to understand this. It's about getting a free education.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's about getting a free education.
That's what it's about.
And this transfer portal is real. And what I'm giving you a little bit
NIL deals too.
It's real. So when you have to think about this, it's going to be tough. And I don't think the transfer portal is a bad thing. I really don't. I know some kids have been through it, so I'm not against it. But it like everything, you got your good and your bad. It's hurting high school kids because you got to think about this. Coach's job is on the line every day. And And it really is. Their job at the next level is to win. And they got to sit here and look like, oh man, do I want this freshman who's immature, who doesn't really know how college ball works? Do I really want to spend time teaching? Or do I want this kid to transfer portal? That's good. It's been in college. That's mature.
He come from this program. I know that coach. I know what kind of system. He runs something similar to me. So he going to integrate.
Let's work for me.
Same thing on the women's side too.
It's the exact same thing.
And the COVID year heard that as well.
So because they got these extra years, and it's like
these 28-year-old, fifth year seniors. I mean,
me and Joe talk about that all the time. Like, I think I even asked him, and he said pretty much kind of said the same thing. You know, like, I think this year he might not have picked up a whole incoming freshman.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
They have
everybody.
It's either 8 or 9 transfers. Let me tell you something.
That is crazy.
I peeked in their practice a couple weeks ago. UWF women's basketball is the real deal, people. I said it last year.
I was telling Joel that too. I'm like, Joel, I ain't gonna lie. I'm watching your videos, bro. Like y'all not like these girls. They got a couple girls, bro. I'm like, they can play with the men. That's how
I do play-by-play for them. And
I
was telling anybody that wanted to listen to me. The best basketball in Pensacola last year, the best, was being played by women, UWF women and PSC women.
Wow,
that's true.
And when
you go to high school, the Power Four is women.
That's
the best basketball in high school at that time.
You talking to Booker T Washington?
Nah, I'm over there too.
We had, let me say something. Some seeds were planted last year.
Exactly.
Seeds were planted, and the harvest will come maybe sooner than later.
Before that, before the last year, she was the bee's knees when it come to the women's, because we had the best players around here.
Gotcha.
So it all
was in a cycle,
it all was a cycle.
Last year was a year full of babies on my team. Obviously, one senior. I still don't have any. I don't have any seniors this year. So it's just a cycle. And as a high school coach, in my honest opinion, I love winning, but that's not my ultimate job. My job is to help you become a better person when you leave my program. And if you become a better player in the process, man, we didn't kill 2 birds in one stone.
That should be 9 out of 10. Things.
And then helping you get to that next level, like I said, whether it be JUCO or mid-major or Division I, because that's what we tell our guys all the time. Like, look, get that out your head, because like you say, it's a real thing. If by your junior year your name ain't singing volumes, that whole D1 or bust, hey man, it's about just getting into school. Help me do that.
And what people don't realize, and I've coached on. I know you say you did some research. I don't know if you know this, but I coached on the Nike EYBL circuit a couple years ago.
That.
All right,
that's a hidden one. That's a hidden one.
I'll throw that out there for you. But I coached on the EYBL circuit, and I'll be honest with you, I was coaching the 16U team for Essence girls basketball. At that time, Reggie Evans' daughter was playing for me.
Who's a monster.
Yeah, she's at Georgia now. Janiyah Barker, who's at Texas A&M, was number 1 player in the state of Florida last year. A couple other ladies. And, and the 17U EYBL, like, a lot of those girls are already committed. Like, meaning, like, if not committed, they were offered when they were on the 16U as 9th and 10th graders. And I had the opportunity to kind of, like, observe some things. Like, I'm watching Gino walk around. I'm watching Don Staley, Muffin McGraw, who was Notre Dame coach at the time. And I can tell you this right now. Gino and Don, like, if you ever go to an AAU tournament, coaches have books, right? Gino and Don don't walk around with a book.
Of course not.
But also check this out. They're watching some of the younger games.
Oh, yeah.
Because they already know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that 11th grade year, like, I offered you as an 8th or 9th grader. Like, I know I want you. Now I got to go and see who else I'm finna offer as an 8th or 9th grader. So those are things, but that D1 or bust, people got to get that out their mind. I think it's a social media thing. And again, to answer your question, I had a great JUCO experience. It definitely helped make me who I am. I'm very grateful for that experience.
Gotcha. Okay, my last little thing.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Okay, say you went to Woodham, and what I hear from here, Woodham was like Woodham Booker T, head busters, basically.
Yeah.
So how was it going from Woodham
I like that question.
Your
I like this question.
rival and being like a coach and everything else? Granted, I know Woodham is not around anymore, but did you get flack for it? And did anybody hassle you?
Here's a funny story.
I like that.
That a lot of people don't know.
So this is why he's my research guy.
I was supposed to go to Washington.
Oh wow.
Oh, I did not know that, Jay.
I was supposed to go to Washington. My brother went there his first year. And and we lived in Woodham District, and my mom was like, you know, and this is different from how kids are now and parents are now.
Yeah.
You know, if you want, let's just say this. You want to go to Washington, but you don't live in Washington District. You know, there are things you can do.
You can go to Washington, yeah.
Back in the day, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, y'all going to Woodland? This is where we live. By mine.
The bus picking you up at 7:15, you better be outside.
And here's the even funnier part of the story. Yeah. Our last bus stop was right in front of Washington High School. Like on the bus that I rode. So the back of Washington, you know, where that Six Brothers is now. There used to be a Tom Thumb. You know, those apartments across the street from Washington. That was like all of Woodland. But the side on the other side of Langley with Workman was Washington. But the other side was Woodland. So kids that lived over here on the other side of the street would walk across the street in front of that Tom Thumb. Actually, no, they would stop right there. Our bus would stop right there in the corner of Langley in front of that Tom Thumb, and we would pass Washington Stadium every day.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people don't know that I was technically probably going to go to Washington, and people were kind of shocked. Some people did because they knew my brother went there his first year, his freshman year. Went on to Woodham. It was definitely, I know you're not familiar, it was definitely a true, like, if I could give you any indication what the rival was, it was UNC versus Duke. We were UNC because we had UNC colors. They were Duke because they had Duke colors. And we hated each other. Like, it wasn't, I mean, like, we didn't like each other.
Bro, like, my freshman year at Woodham, like, watch, I mean, it's girl, I don't care if it's girls JV. I mean, it's about to be a fight. Like every game. So
nobody
like them games,
nobody liked each other.
I think I asked Tim, I was like, what about Escambia? He was like, none of that matter.
The only other one
it was PHS a little bit.
PHS a little bit.
More so would have been Washington. And it was just like that. And I went to middle school with like pretty much everybody on Washington team. And when I went to Woodham, it was like, all right, cool, whatever, we ain't friends.
Exactly.
It was no LeBron syndrome. I love LeBron though. I do, don't get me wrong. But it was no LeBron syndrome. But that transition, as you get older, you grow. And if you don't grow, you're not learning.
I'm learning,
And so when I first got there, my first year, I'm 22 years old. It was hard to put that shirt on. It was hard. I'm being honest. I mean, I'm being so honest. It was challenging to put a t-shirt on. But then I got to thinking about it. I get my check because of Booker T. So you know, I'm getting this teacher salary because I'm at Booker T. And after that, I love the kids at our school. I have grown there so much. Dr. Roberts was my assistant principal at Woodham. He was my principal for a long time. He's now the middle school director. And some of my best friends right now and people that I admire are colleagues that I work with at Booker T. So it has created a family atmosphere for me. Now, people that know me, know that Jade Brown is a wildcat.
Okay.
You know, it's like
through and through.
Through and through. And I remember my assistant coach when he got married to his wife. They had like both of them went to Washington, and so at their wedding they had like, oh, let's all get. You know, if you went to Booker T, come get a picture. Guess who hopped in the picture? I mean, because I love it. There's so much tradition there, and like I said, I mean, I love Woodham. Woodham definitely made me who I am today, but Booker T has shaped me into who I am. And I love everything about it. I love the kids. I love the players I've coached, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I love where I am. And like I say, everybody know who we be, Booker T, baby. I am Booker T, blue and white, all day, every day. And if it ain't about Booker T, it ain't about nothing.
Nah, she ain't lying about that, man. Like I said, on the sideline, she's 100% all Booker T. And like I said, I've seen what she's done with her players, man. And then all the players that leave her program, they're better young ladies because of that. You know what I'm saying? They have a bond with her just like I have a bond with my coaches that I've had all my life. So having that, you know, that energy on the sideline and that belief in a program is important. So I think if Woodham was still around, I think, you know, she might have ended back up there, but I think her journey has made sense, you know, going through what she's going through and then go to Booker T. You know, because she was supposed to be there anyway.
I mean, you know, they said you want to make God laugh, tell him you're playing.
That's true.
So I just try to, whatever he tell me to do. Sometimes I'm like, God, you know, okay, like, Jade, I got you. All right, you got me. Let's get it. But it's, and I appreciate those words. And I think with the young ladies that I'm probably closest with, And there are some players I'm closer with than others for different reasons. But I think it's because I am a relationship person. Right? And young people have to know this, or not just young people in a leadership position. I say this all the time. You know, when people know that you care, they'll do anything for you.
Go through a wall.
And I care hard, like for my young ladies. I hold them accountable. You know, and a lot of times people will see me on the sideline as a young African-American woman. And you talk about like Title IX, you know, I get this all the time. Why is she yelling? You never ask a man that.
Yeah.
You never ask a man coach that.
Yeah.
But then
why she stomping up and down the sideline?
You never ask a man coach that. But that's who I am. You know, and as a player, I was passionate. And people tend to get emotion confused with passion.
I like that.
And so one thing I try to say is don't confuse my passion for what you assume is emotion.
Absolutely.
Because I'm passionate about this game. I'm passionate about these young ladies. And I'm gonna give everything I got every time we're out there. So like I said, those words meant a lot because the young ladies I coach, just to see some of them now and to see what they're doing and to see them growing. I know they say, oh man, a coach influences so many lives, but the young ladies I've coached have shaped my life. You know, they've made me question how to carry myself and how to say things because you can't coach every player the same. And you have to learn that. That's
the hardest part.
It's not, I'm not saying that I'm gonna let you do it this way and that way, but I might be able to yell at DeMarcus and like really, really get him. But then I can get a lot out you, but that's not the way I gotta do it. And I had to learn that. I didn't always know that and always realize that. But I got some good people around me. My mom, my dad, for sure. They're always at my games. My assistant coaches are
amazing,
outstanding people, not just coaches. And I think people, you know, you're the company that you keep. And without them, you know, they know some things about some of my players, and some players feel more comfortable talking to them about some stuff. So you got to have that on your staff within your program to sustain greatness. And greatness is not just winning. Greatness is holding your athletes accountable and pushing them every day to reach their full potential. Because there are days, I think it was one of my favorite Serena Williams quotes, because I love her. There are days I don't feel like working out, but there's never a day I feel like losing.
That's powerful. I like that.
So there are days I don't feel like, you know, y'all probably don't feel like playing or practicing. I may not really feel like coaching, but every night we play, ain't never a night I want to lose.
Exactly.
There's never a night. So it's definitely, you know, coaching is, I love it. I enjoy it in this new role that I'm in. I love athletics. I love our kids. So I'm experiencing a lot of wonderful things. So honestly, I've just been blessed. And I'll continue to try to do things in how God wants me to do them. Try to let His light shine through me as much as possible. And it's not an easy walk. It is not. And I know you guys are men of faith as well. So but you got to walk by faith. You know what I'm saying? And I let God use me how He sees fit. And I'm a praying person. Because last year was tough, guys. Last year, you know, DeMarcus saw it.
You said one senior last year?
Well,
but just the grind, the grind she went through, because like I say, I'm learning myself going from player to coach, is that, like you said, the people that's in the stands, they don't understand the ins and outs of what's going on behind the scenes. So they're used to her winning. So when now she's having to actually deal with some losing, they're like, well, what's wrong with Jade? But it's like, no, she's still coaching the same way she was coaching when she was winning 20 plus games. She's doing the same thing with these ladies that are learning how to win, learning how to play. Like she said, she had a lot of young ladies. So as a coach, as a trainer, you're starting to realize that people just don't get it. But you got to stay focused on what the end game is. What are you trying to accomplish? And she's, even though she wasn't, you know, top this, but the ladies still had a good season, still had a good year. They learned a lot. She learned a lot. Coaching staff learned a lot. So now going into this year, they're going to be better. But it's just that window of losing a little bit, people just aren't. It's unsettling for them because they're so used to winning.
It's tough. It was a lot more challenging than I thought, even on the days you try to stay positive. And I did try to, you know, you find the positives in the negatives. And it was challenging. But that season, I think, has made me a better person. Because there were times we were losing, and I'm like, man, I'm still coaching. There's somebody out there that's not coaching. You know, there's some kid out there that wants to play but can't play. So I still got a group of girls that's coming out here every night and playing. So it was last year's was still a blessing. It still was a great year.
Always
like
a learning.
said, some seeds were planted, and we keep working hard and we keep watering. The harvest will come. You know, the plants don't grow overnight.
Yeah, they don't.
So we just got to keep grinding and keep pushing. And our motto has always been not to get outworked. So if I can outwork you, I can beat you.
Eventually.
But it's gonna take some work.
It takes some work. Yeah,
It's gonna take some work. So I really appreciate you guys, man. This has been awesome.
Nah, Jade, I want to thank you again. You know, we've had a few guests on the show, man. They've been great. And I think very inspirational what you do with the ladies, with the coaching, and of course now being my new AD, you know that your position is important, and also just to kind of talk on it just a little bit before we got here, having a female AD is a real big thing for our school, and I think moving forward we're going to see a lot more of that. Because we're seeing more women coaches, we're seeing more women trainers, teachers, of course. But like you get to see all the positions being filled by women. It's a big thing. So I thank you for everything you do. And like I said before, man, make sure y'all check her out. Motivation Mondays. If you ain't got a bike, get a bike. If you're not working out, work out. Because healthy living is powerful too. Yeah. And as always, we want to thank everybody for watching our podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below. If you have anything that you want us to go over, please let us know. We'll try to implement it on the next episode. But as always, thank y'all. Until next episode, peace.